You too. Shout out my truckers out there, man. Hope all is well. Hope you guys had a good holiday yesterday, 4th of July. It is currently July 5th, 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. I just wanted to come on here really quick, talk to y'all, give you a little update. I think the last time I was on here, I was going to Georgia. So that happened. I dropped the load off in Georgia. I believe that same day, I got a load going from Georgia, from Woodstock, Georgia, to Tampa, Florida. That load was paying about $1,200, which is an amazing load because from Woodstock, Georgia to Tampa, Florida, that was around 488 miles. So that was around $2 and I think 60 cents some change up there. So that's an amazing load in my opinion. So I grabbed it. Now the issue with Florida is if you get something going into Florida, it's usually really difficult to get out of Florida. But I did find something going out of Florida. It wasn't the best load, but it was something. Me and my dispatcher discussed it, and we were thinking that we could just add something to the load. As far as, like I said before, utilizing the space of your truck, being creative on what you do with the space. So went to Florida, dropped off the load. The same day we found another load. I think it was about 35 minutes after that. We found another load going from Palmetto, Florida, which is still like in that Tampa area, going to California. That one was paying around $2,000. So we were like, you know what? It's not paying the best because from Florida to California, the part of California that I was going to, which I believe is called Menifee, California. That one was paying $2,000, going 2,500 miles west. So I was like, you know what? It's an opportunity to get out of Florida. Let's go ahead and take it. So getting out of Florida, of course, I was like, in my mind, let's try to add something to it. The best place to add something to it, the closest place to add something to it would be going to Georgia. So I drove back up to Georgia, drove back to Atlanta. I spent the night in Atlanta, and I believe that morning we found another load going towards California as well. So all the miles that I've driven just to get back to the West Coast, it was a lot, and I don't think the money was good compared to the miles, because the goal was to at least fit another thing on to the truck, like a third load. But we didn't find anything with enough time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start driving. I'm gonna get on the road and I'm gonna head out, because I don't want to wait, and I'm super late for the drop, because my goal was to leave the truck parked in Atlanta. I wanted to go fly to see my kids, because I haven't seen them in a few weeks. So I wanted to go fly to see my kids, come back, spend a weekend to go see my kids, come back on that Monday morning and drive. So that was the plan. That's what I did. And yeah. So I got to California, I believe it was a Wednesday morning. I got back to California, and yeah, man, y'all, that drive is long, man. That drive is super long. I love to drive trucks. It's one of my passions, but man, that thing was long. Jesus. I love, obviously driving, making money, doing this whole business overall. It's a simple business, in my opinion. You picking up a load, you dropping off a load. Whether you're doing one pickup, 2 drops, or 2 pickups and 2 drops, whatever the case may be, it's an amazing opportunity to get some good money, and it's an amazing business. But yeah, that was a push right there, man. That was a push, especially like when I finally got into California, or matter of fact, going through Texas. Y'all, going through Texas is like the biggest state in the world. Like, I'm driving, I'm thinking, okay, I'm out, I'm good, because I tend not to look at the map so much because if I look at the map, and I don't know if y'all agree, let me know in the comments. But when I'm looking at the map and I'm looking at the minutes go by and like the hours go by and I'm seeing like the miles go by and it just tends to prolong the drive for me. So I kind of like put that to the side and I just focus on driving. But the type of things that I was seeing, I'm like, I gotta be out of Texas, by now. But Texas is so diverse and so large. You can see this and that and the third. You thinking you out, but you still in Texas. So went through Texas, finally got to New Mexico. And once you get to New Mexico, you kind of like, I think you have to go through Arizona. Once you get to Arizona, you're right there in California. But it's just, this drive was serious. This drive was super serious, but I made it. The money wasn't great, to be honest with you. And on this channel, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna tell you whether it's a good week or a bad week. This week wasn't a great week for me. It wasn't a great week for me. Average, I believe I was averaging around like $1.10, $1.15 per mile. So it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. So if you know, I have 3 kids. I got a wife, so I'm already spending time away from them to do this business. And if the money ain't making sense, nothing's making sense. So staying away from them for a prolonged period of time, it's already not making sense to me. But I'm like, you know what? It's a sacrifice. It's a small sacrifice to be able to obviously come up on some bread, come up on some money. So by the time the kids come back home, from summer break and, school starts back up again, we'll have enough money to pay for, school supplies and, all the necessities needed to obviously be successful, for the kids to be successful for back to school. This is a small sacrifice. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. But this week wasn't the best. On top of that, obviously with the business fees and all of those things, it just wasn't the best week. But it's all good. I believe, everything happens for a reason. I'm still learning on this venture. And I know it's gonna get better from here. I know not to accept certain things just because it's a high price tag. Because obviously if it's a high price tag, you gotta look at the negatives too. So meaning if it's super far, but they're paying, it just has to make sense. So I'm still learning. It's a lot of things to learn in my business to be successful. So right now I'm gonna focus on probably taking shorter trips, making sure that RPM is as high as possible, that rate per mile is as high as possible. And we're going to see from there, because one of the biggest issues that I'm realizing about this business is fuel and fuel cost. Now, we talked about before as far as downloading certain apps to get certain savings, which is great. But if you're in a specific state like California, where gas prices are high, like I'm talking about, you're gonna pay around $4.50 to like maybe even like the extreme $6 per gallon for diesel. So it's like it makes sense to book these loads for a good rate per mile, But we're gonna get better. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the point where we're making, $2 plus, for the end of the week. And that's my goal. Last week was a great week. We closed out, I think that week was around $2 and some change, as far as what I've driven. But I believe next week is gonna be great. But anyways, I took some footage. I found a phone holder that I'm gonna actually be able to utilize while on the road. So I came back home. If y'all didn't notice, I'm home. So I got a phone holder, so that way I can actually record while I'm driving. I was able to kind of like take my phone and kind of shimmy it in between the windshield and my visor. So I kind of was able to get some shots of what I was seeing while I was driving through California, and also I believe through Arizona. Beautiful, beautiful shots. Wanted to share it with y'all. But yeah, y'all keep up with the love, keep up with the comments. I appreciate the new subscribers. If it's your first time here, this is my first business venture as far as being on the road, this big business, and I want to take y'all with me. Whatever I can, show you guys, my failures, my successes that y'all can learn from, I want to give it away. So you guys can excel, you guys can succeed. And if there's something ahead that you guys want to teach me, or put in the comments that I may need to learn to better myself, throw it in there, man. I think at the end of the day, it's all about growth. It's all about succeeding. We're all in this crazy rat race called life. And at the end of the day, we all trying to make it. So whatever I can do to help, let's get it. But yeah, man, y'all check out the views from me driving. But until next time, catch y'all later.